Hello, hello, everyone. It's your girl, Nicole Fletcher, and I'm here just to share a little bit with you about my journey to a plant-based lifestyle. This is probably the most vulnerable you might ever see me on social media or any other platform, but I wanted to take this time out. I felt like it was vital for me to take this time out and to share with you so that you have a better understanding of like who I am, what I'm doing, and why I'm doing it. And maybe for you to join on, for you to see yourself in this space and in this journey alongside me. So, um, my name is Nicole Fletcher, and I am 45 years old. I am a native of San Diego, California. I am a wife. I met my husband, Dr. Philip Fletcher, when we were in college at the University of California, Riverside. A funny background story with all of that. Like when I first met him, I was like, he's too old, like not my vibe. But then obviously became my vibe very quickly and has been rocking with me for the past 24 years and going on. This is our 25th year of marriage. Through that time, we have, procured some children. So we've got a son, Nicholas Fletcher, who is 23, and our daughter, Najee Nicole, who is 21, and then our youngest, Nichelle Cherie, who is 20. And so that's like our like little family dynamic, like our kids. I birthed all of my children in the hospital. I was unmedicated during those experiences because I was afraid of what an epidural could potentially do to me, in the sense of it could potentially paralyze me. And I was really afraid of that. So my philosophy was there wasn't any type of pain that childbirth could bring that would, in my opinion, be worth not walking later. So there's yeah. So anyway, so there's that. Again, born and raised in San Diego, California. I went to a performing arts school, so I danced starting at 5 years old. Was always a part of some dance studio, so tap, ballet, jazz, and gymnastics. That was like my vibe, my thing. That's what I did really from 5 years old all the way through my sophomore year in college. And then I kind of transitioned to doing like praise dancing and teaching praise dance teams at church, and leading worship through dance. So movement has always been a part of my journey. Hi, Tanisha. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm glad you're here to catch me live. Ooh, and I'm excited for this special project. Hey, Delta, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Yes, yes. Sunny San Diego is something. So yeah, I moved to Arkansas with my family in April of 2007. So we've been living in Conway, Arkansas since that time for the past 15 years. And so during my life, I have always kind of considered myself to be like health conscious, but not like crazy. Does that make sense? I've always been aware of like, oh yeah, this is a good thing to do, or like, don't do that. But never really like diving into it. And of course, we've all had our crazy like things. I remember in high school, like I danced, and when I talk about dance, I'm talking about like fame type stuff, like dancing for hours and hours on end in a day. And that was my life. That was what I loved, and that's what I did. And I remember in high school we had this like silly little thought about food. And one of the thoughts that I had about food is like if you have a Snickers bar and you have it the same time every day, then it cancels your body out. I don't know. There was something that I did I thought it made sense. I don't know. It did not make sense, but it was what I did back in high school. But as an adult, like moving on and like progressing, there were things that I like learned and started to incorporate. Obviously, fruits and vegetables, was never really a stranger to fruits and vegetables. Um, things like that. And throughout the time, throughout my life as an adult, seeking to, and even like this craziness when I was pregnant with the kids, um, like I gained a lot of weight when I was pregnant with Nick. When I say a lot of weight, I mean a lot of weight. I was already on this like happy, whatever, blissful relationship thing and or marriage thing. And we're just like doing whatever, eating out, all that like stuff that happens early relationship or early marriage. You're just kind of doing all the things. And anyways, just like when I tell you I blew up, I blew up. And then my philosophy was like, well, I might as well, I'm not done having kids, so I might as well just stay blowed up. And then eventually, when I'm done, I will start to shred or get rid of the weight that I gained during the pregnancy. Foolish as it could be. So like, I'm here to tell you, don't do that. It doesn't make sense. But anyways, that's what I did. And so throughout, after having children, I would venture to say I probably tried many different types of diets or food lifestyle things. And except for keto, because keto never resonated with me. I felt like, ooh, that was a little too much. Didn't make sense to me and still doesn't. But anyways, I know it works for some people, but I also say you can lose weight uh, having crack. So like if the goal is weight loss, you can do that kind of any way. Doesn't necessarily mean healthy. So, and I've got notes, so I'm kind of looking down. In the past, like I would say probably 10 years, I struggled with just like my weight. You know what I mean? Like, ugh, it's already early. I'm getting all weepy. Yeah, well, I struggle with my weight. And obviously. And I feel like I've yo-yo dieted all throughout my life. There were times where I was like kicking it, like crushing it, like doing a thing and making stuff happen. And then other times I was like, oh, I don't know, like this food is just good, so we're just gonna eat it, or just do, whatever it does. And so each year though, I would say I've learned more and more every year, every season, every whatever, I've learned something more about like food, our bodies, um, what health actually looks like, and what it doesn't look like. And so this past year, I'm kind of fast forward a little bit. Um, this past year, well, I'm not going to fast forward that far. I'm going to go back probably to 2019 is when like really kind of focusing on, all right, Nicole, let's get in, let's do what it takes to like be your healthiest self. And some of that has been like, oh, let's go to the gym and let's work out and let's grind. And I like when I work out, or I'm in the mindset of like, we're about to work out, I'm like balls to the walls. I'm like, because of my dancer background, and this is, kind of why I laid that out. I'm always like, if it's a Zumba class, then I want to be the best in the class. Like I want to crush it. When I say crush it, I want to crush it and be like, ooh, I sweat on the floor, killing the game. All of that. Like that's my heart and that's where I come from. And like dance and dance competition, again, it's in my soul. So even if it's a Zumba class or a step class or just a weightlifting class, a circuit, a hit class, whatever, I have to like kind of kill it. And when I can't kill it because my physical body can't handle the work, that's hard. That's heavy and that's hard for me. And so, we always think about being healthy and we think about working out. We're like, oh, let's go to the gym and let's, crush it there. And so I would do that. I would get up, I would go to the gym, I'd kind of be on my mindset like, yeah, I'm going to be eating healthy, and healthy eating meaning like more fruits and vegetables and things of that nature, lean meats, um, like removing some starches and excess sugar and things like that. Those were like that was my mindset of like this is what healthy is. And but I was always racked with inflammation in my body, like always struggled with it. So back to the dancer, back to gymnastics. I had an injury when I was in high school. I did an aerial, landed funky on my knee, or on my leg, but then my knee kind of got injured. So I had a torn meniscus, um, on and on and on, like just lots of stuff. And then as you're gaining weight on a frame that doesn't change, so you could be 500 pounds and you could also be 100 pounds, and your frame is still the same. So your frame doesn't fluctuate with your weight. Your fat fluctuates, and other things in your body actually fluctuates, but it's not your actual frame. So on the frame that was once, 125 pounds, crushing it, doing all the things, like we're pushing maybe 300 pounds, um, and trying to do all of those same activities. So it doesn't work. So what happens is injury ensues. You get more injury. And so then I would be crushed. Like I'm working out doing the thing, then I get an injury, then it would slow me back and I wouldn't be able to go to the gym and I wouldn't be able to do the work that I needed to do. So now we're going to fast forward a little bit. So insert pandemic, insert craziness of just like, I don't know, all the things crazy. And I started to learn more about like the industry, the food industry, propaganda, agenda, food, health, soil health, and like mind literally blown. Um, so again, for the past, I would say maybe 8 years, I've like had this longing or this desire to be a plant-based eater, meaning like when I say plant-based, I mean things that grow from the ground, um, fruits, vegetables, like that would be my diet. But I never knew how to like take that step. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand how to like, how do you transition? How do you survive? Don't you need meat? Don't you need this? Don't you need eggs? Don't you need butter? Don't you need, you know what I mean? Like all of these questions were just always in my head. And I felt like I never had a solid direction or understanding of what any of that looked like or what I needed to actually do to be successful for my own body and live in accordance to what I felt like God was calling me to. So, some friends of mine were on this kind of plant-based journey. I've had friends throughout the years live vegetarian, live vegan. I'm going to give out a shout out to Christina, which is my childhood bestie. And she's always been like talking about glyphosate and Monsanto. And she's talked about like, I mean, all of these crazy things and like eat fruits and vegetables and like all this stuff. And I was just like, well, that's just Christina, right? Like Christina's just doing Christina. And I'm not Christina. We were grown, younger, we were growing up and she's white and I'm black, obviously. And she was like Punky Brewster and I was Cherry. So I don't know if you guys, I'm maybe dating myself. I already told my age. I'm fine, I'm happy, I don't care. But that's who we were. And Cherry was always a little bit thicker, a little bit bigger than Punky Brewster, even though they were both small. And so I was always like, okay, well, I am Cherry. I'm just going to be a little bit thicker. And, Black people, we eat meat. Like, that's what we do. What are you going to do at a cookout if you're not eating meat? Like, this is weird. I don't understand it. And so for me, it was like, I had to do something and I had to do something different, but I didn't know how to go about it. So insert this company called Purium, which stands for pure and premium. Um, and I'll just be honest, I got on it because some friends of mine, Deetra Clark, she's on here. Hey Deetra. Another friend, Della, sorry, all my D's are all over the place, but another friend, Della, she was also a part of the company. And those are people that I had looked up to over the years, just with like health and prioritizing the health of themselves and their family and kind of doing what it takes or what it took to be successful. And so they were a part of this company. And I was like, whoa, I mean, if they're doing it, I might as well give it a try. And if I can get 97% of my fruits and vegetables from like a power shake, like scoop power and shake it and drink it, like, okay, bet, let's go. And it doesn't have a bunch of crap in it that's actually going to make me sick, that my body doesn't have to like figure out how to work through and filter. Like, okay, awesome, let's get in it. So that's what I did. And I started that journey, but I didn't start it balls to the walls committed. I started with a level of disbelief, a level of skepticism, because over the years, I've done lots of things and I've seen some success in some areas, but I've also not seen success. And for me, success was always determined by um, feeling energetic, right? Not being dependent on like sugars, like crazy sugar addiction, bread. Like breads are kind of my favorite thing. They have always been my favorite thing. Like that's a pleasure that is like, ooh, dangerous, right? So anyways, there was that. And I just started. I was like, you know what? Just add this into your life and just keep going and see what happens. And admittedly, I was encouraged because I felt good, but I was also discouraged because I wasn't seeing like transformation. And so I always say comparison is of the devil because it is 100% of the devil. But we do it all the time. And we're looking on social media and we're comparing and this, that, and the other. Um, and so I was frustrated. But I always remembered like, it won't work unless you do, whatever it is. Nothing actually works unless you do. Unless you work and you work it, it won't work. And so consistency, consistently showing up, those were challenges. Those were hard things for me. So how I did it and how I got to this plant-based lifestyle. I used the superfood as my core foundation. So again, Purium has an ultimate lifestyle transformation kit. And what that is it is a power shake. So it's a green smoothie, green power shake, and it's all of your like 97% of your daily nutrients. The thing that blew my mind about this company and about these products and about how it was able to help me was one, what I started to understand. And I understood something called glyphosate. I understood propaganda and I understood agenda. I understood that there is an agenda that is bigger than you and I, that is designed to keep us sick, that wants to keep us sick. And it's sad, right? It's the standard American diet, which is sad. And it's designed to keep us sick. It's designed to keep us in the cycle of sickness, both physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like we are more sick than we have ever been in the history of our lives. And we have a lot of advances and a lot of knowledge that would say we don't have to be. So, anyways, that was the first thing that got me. So I started having the superfood, and 97% of my like nutrients in one drink. What? That was grown in regenerative soil. I didn't even know what that was. Like, what the heck is regenerative soil? Well, it's basically clean soil, soil that has nutrients nutritional property in the soil. So then the roots of whatever plant, fruits, and vegetable that are growing in this soil are being absorbed in the roots, going up the vine, and then coming out of the fruit and the vegetable that you're actually consuming. So it's in the food that you're consuming. So if the soil is bad, then the food or the fruit off the vine is also going to be bad or missing nutrients because it can't get it if the soil doesn't have it. So like mind blown, like the soil didn't even have the stuff that we need. In fact, the soil has been laced with toxicity and chemicals, glyphosate being one of them, which is the active ingredient in Roundup. And you guys have heard me say this over and over. Because I'm learning it, I'm so excited to share this with you. Like, I am bursting at the seams to make sure that that I know it, that I'm walking it, that my family and my friends and my clients, people that I have the opportunity to share truth with, that they know it and they get to invest in it as well and change and improve their health. So, so there's that. So, I mean, that just kind of sold me on that. And then the whole thing about like protein and aminos and like what's the difference and where do you get the protein and where do you get aminos, and they have this product called Super Amino 23, and it's a pre-digested protein basically in a capsule, and so I can take those and I'm getting 30 grams of protein that is sourced from plants, and that is mind blowing. And so that I've been doing that. I've been having Apothecary. It's a tart cherry juice that you drink at night. I've been consuming that. I've been having what's called a Biomedic, which is a third-party tested probiotic, prebiotic, but it helps to remove the glyphosate and other chemical pesticides and toxins that comes to us through our food. So again, I'm doing all this and I'm like rocking and I'm going, but I'm also rolling through Chick-fil-A. And I justified that because I was like, well, Chick-fil-A is Jesus food. It's a Christian company. It's Jesus food, right? And I've justified eating poorly because A, maybe it was easy. B, it was what I was used to. A little bit won't hurt. You know what I mean? So I was like kind of teeter-tottering and I'm kind of dancing between both of these worlds. And I'm an advocate of meeting people where they are and being met where I am. So I'm not saying all this to say, balls to the walls. If you're about to get in it, get in it. This is what it needs to look like. I'm saying I started this journey back in May of 2021. And it is just now, January 2022, that I can tell you that I am living a plant-based lifestyle and loving it and understanding the difference between organic and non-organic foods and why it's important to choose organic and investing in myself to have that. I never understood it. I really thought it was for like bougie people, that this organic stuff, like that's your business, do what you need to. But I've learned so much, and I'm trying to give all this to you. I'm also trying to be fast, but maybe I'm just going to let it be what it be. So yeah, it's been a journey. It's been something that I feel like I have longed to do for the longest time. And the Kickstarter for me was using the superfood, the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation from Purium, was my kickstart to actually be consistent and live this lifestyle. When my body was actually receiving the nourishment that it needed through food, then my gut changed, My overall health changed, my energy changed, my willingness to like try different things changed, my understanding of like what is good and what is bad, like it shifted. It shifted dramatically. And so like those are things that I just kind of want to like get out here and tell you. Like I believe in the divine designer, and the divine designer is God, right? Um, God has designed our bodies in such a magnificent way that we're actually designed to heal ourselves through what He's already given to us. So we get to participate in creation, in rejuvenation, in renewal, in transformation, simply by linking arms with our divine designer. Like, I just need people to understand that. Like, I need you to understand that the capacity to heal disease has already been given to us. And we get to choose whether we participate in that for healing and restoration, or if we add to disease by ignoring that and doing the work that it takes to make the transition. Um, and the work looks like education. The work looks like choosing and saying, do I want this in my body, or do I not want this in my body? Am I willing to jeopardize the potential for more disease, more sickness, more illness, more injury? Or do I want something different? And I want something different. I'm here to tell you today, I want something different. And I am choosing something different on purpose and hard for longevity and to be congruent. Congruent with my creator in how he created all the things, right? So if we go all the way back to the garden, we go back to the Garden of Eden, and everything was available at our access. And the things that we needed the most grew from the ground or came down from the trees. Like, that's what we need. That's what we need. In our to be naked and unashamed, to walk free. That's my heart. That's my purpose. That is my mission. And I want to live a lifestyle that is congruent with the faith that I hold. I have been so tired and exhausted with Christians specifically. So I don't know about other religions. I'm not talking about that. I'm literally talking about Christians who say, God gave everything, so we can indulge in everything. No, no. Yes, God gave everything. Yes, He also gave you wisdom in, should I consume that? Should I not consume that? Is that for my good? Is that going to build health, life, wealth in me? Or is that going to cause destruction, harm, like regression in me? And like, you can eat human feces if you want, but you're going to choose not to. Why would you choose not to eat human feces? Why would you say, I don't want that, but I'll eat, I don't know, this? Like, there's choices and prioritization that is all available to us. And so I have chosen to live a plant-based lifestyle in honor of like my goals, my health, my well-being, my wellness. And I'm encouraging others to do the same, So I feel like I didn't say all the things that I want to say, but I kind of want to close, but I'm also going to like pause, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to read some of the comments that you guys have made, because there were lots of comments going on. I'm going to give that a little regroup. You guys are seeing that. I'm not seeing that. We're not vegan over here, but we're more plant-based, less meat, more beans, lentils, fruits, veggies, and grains. Okay, Q has been use the keto safely to lower his A1C and be on the road to reverse his diabetes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Congratulations. I've been watching that journey. Working on your mental and emotional state before physical, yes. Disease, yes. Live food. So food that's living helps our living cells. That's really important. Dietrich says, understanding we are undernourished and overexposed to toxicity. And so sometimes we think that like, oh, so-and-so's skinny, and like maybe that's great, or so-and-so's maybe overweight and that's great, or whatever. But the truth is, doesn't matter what your weight is on the scale, many of us, I would venture to say most of us, are undernourished and overexposed to toxicities. Delta says, Nicole, you changed my life and my daughter's lives with this information and sharing this lifestyle. Thanks for sharing that. Education is key. Yes, it is. I'm so proud of you, and your journey is inspiring me. Food can fuel you or make you sick. Absolutely. Absolutely. Healthy self equals heal thyself. Nice. I like it. I like it. Amen. Watching my son be born with CKD and the cost of his medical care and all of the stress that comes from it makes me want to embrace a healthy lifestyle. Absolutely. Or just God will heal your body. You got to change how you eat. Stop treating God like a genie in a bottle, 100%. And I think we do that all too easily. We say, like, it's almost like studying, like don't study for the test. And you're like, Lord, help me pass the test. But like you didn't study. And so there's just certain things that just aren't, like, it's rude to ask. Like, do the work and watch the stuff transition, watch it transform by doing the work. What is permissible is not always profitable. Absolutely. That's it. That's what I was calling on. Thanks, Dietrich. Teacher's always like got my back with the scripture. Yeah. So I love it. So to the person that says, I've been trying and it's not working, I want to say, you did not get unhealthy overnight. You did not get to the place where you were dealing with disease and sickness racking your body overnight. And you're not going to get healed overnight. It's a process. It takes time. It takes consistency. Consistently showing up will make the difference. Like, that's just flat out it. We got to be, consistent in our work. And you don't go to the gym. People say this all the time. You don't go to the gym for the first time and then come out thinking you got 6-pack abs. Like, you're not going to have that. And really focusing on healing from the inside out is a journey. It's a process. And so I always say my journey to a plant-based lifestyle, or my journey to this, or my journey to that, because I understand that it's literally a journey. With uphill, there's plateaus, there's a downhill slope. It's all of this along the way. So I want to encourage myself as well as you to understand that, like, starting is the first thing you have to do to begin this transformation. And this transformation is not just something that happens with what you put in your mouth. It happens, we heal like as a unit. So your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, all of that is how we are healing. And so we're not just going to avoid one area while focusing on this area. Now, are we going to like put everything on the table and like go all in on everything? Like, you need time, and it takes, like, it's a process. So I talked to you guys earlier that I started this, it was like late May into June that I really started this process. And it wasn't until um I would say like late November that I really started to like hammer in and get serious and believe, like, I believe it's possible for me. And I've never really believed that it was possible. I have always been the woman that will support anyone towards their dreams, towards their aspirations, like, and believed hard for other people, but rarely believed it for me. I always felt like I was some sort of maybe weird, like a weird unicorn, and not in a cool way, but just some weird unicorn that's like, I mean, I'll hold it down. I'll be your base. I'll be your rock. I got this. But then, like, when it came to me, I was like, well, that's kind of like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know about it. Um, or even feeling like this sense of, I'll show up for you, but I know you won't show up for me. So, like, almost like this weird thought process of like, if you show up for everyone else, maybe, maybe somebody will show up for you. And then when people don't show up for you, you're like, oh, dang, I guess I can't have that. I guess that's not actually for me. But the truth is, it is for me. It is for me. Health, wellness, prosperity, all of it is for me. And it is mine for the taking, the asking, and the walking it out. Um, I'm a daughter of the king, and I'm walking in that. And so I wanted to come on and share this little bit with you guys, just a little fraction of kind of where I'm going and why I'm going there. Um, just so you guys can kind of see, um, the end of this year is going to look different than the beginning of this year. And I've always been one of those people that you look at somebody and like maybe they're super healthy, maybe their wealth is on point, and maybe they're super athletic or whatever, and they're able to do all these things. And you see the final product, you see the end, but you don't see the journey. And you don't see what it cost them. You don't know what it took for them to get there. And so this is me sharing with you the journey, what it's taking, the process. Because the end of this year is going to look miles, worlds different than today, right now. And I'm thankful for that. But I also don't want you, whoever you are, to have the excuse by saying, well, like seeing the end and not seeing the beginning or the middle or the transition or the journey, not seeing that and saying, oh, well, it's always been easy for her. Because it hasn't been. It has not been. It has not been easy. This is hard. And this has been a journey. But I'm happy. Like, when I tell you I'm happy, I'm really happy. And I'm really proud of me for like going in and prioritizing myself and saying, this is what I want. And this is the work that I'm willing to put in to get what I want. And just to summarize it really simply, I don't want to die from dis-ease that I could have prevented. I don't want to go on the airplane and struggle to buckle my seatbelt or have that eye with the stewardess where she's like, do you need the extender? I don't want that for my life. I don't want to go hiking with family, friends, or on an adventure or to the mall and there be stairs and feel like, crap, I don't want to be here. I don't want to take these stairs. I don't want to get called for a birth with a client that lives on the third floor of her apartment complex and have to haul tons of birth equipment and feel in fear or afraid that crap, what if I'm like so exhausted that I can't make it up these stairs, or I make it up these stairs and then I have to like stand outside before opening the door to this client's home because I'm out of breath. Like, over it, over it. If the client is birthing in a weird, crazy corner of her house, I will be agile enough to squeeze in that corner and catch her baby, give her baby, and move out and not be sore and injured for weeks on end after that. And why? Because I'm choosing me. I'm choosing me. And how am I doing that? Again, I started as my foundation with Purium. Purium has been a godsend in ways that I would have never thought. And I know some of you guys are like, she's doing this multi-level marketing stuff, blah, blah, blah. You're doing it every day. Every time you tell your best friend or your girlfriend, or you post that you went to Target, or you advertise for Starbucks, you're doing it every 5 seconds of every single day. The difference is you're not being compensated for it. Somebody else is. So there's that. Say what you want to, do what you want to about it. Have at it. I'm also at a place of like, I got to do what I got to do for me. And if you want to get on board and do what you got to do for you, let's go. Let's link up. Let's go. And if you don't, you could, I think there's this little TikTok that's like, you can block me, watch me. Why does it go? You can watch me, block me, join me, but what you can't do is stop me. And so, I don't know. It's cooler. I'll probably do the TikTok later once I figure out which way it goes. I'll do that later. But you can join me. You can watch me. You can block me. You can do whatever you want, but you can't stop what God is doing in me, because at the end of the day, this is for God to receive the glory in my life, and like avoid disease, like avoid dying from something that he was like, baby, I gave you this. Like, I gave you this and you opted to steward this poorly. And I'm talking all of it. And we're learning and we're growing. I'm talking about your food, I'm talking about your money, I'm talking about your time, your resources, all of that. It's all of it. And I'm learning how to steward all of it well. Will I fail some days? Yep. Will I be successful other days? Yep. Am I on the journey? 100%. I'm on the journey to win. So there's that. I feel like I've cried enough and I want to stop crying. So I'm just going to share a little bit of what Deetra said. Yes, 100% possible for you. Yes, it is the journey and it's real. Go ahead and claim that. And I'm claiming it, walking in it. That's right. Join me. Yeah. So I don't know. Do you guys have questions, thoughts? Anybody interested in like, maybe do you have a question? I might pop off and pop back on and like leave some Q&A time. I'll just say one of my favorite things has been my favorite go-to things. If you follow me at all, you kind of know what it is. And it's cauliflower with this buffalo sauce. It's life. So that's really awesome. I'm going to share a little bit of discoveries really quick. One thing I've discovered is that you can get full off consuming plants. And by plants, I mean like vegetables or fruit. Let's start with fruit. Fruit all day long is phenomenal. Like, it's phenomenal. It's God's candy. Like, God's best little candy is just right there. And you can consume that all day long and be actually full and satisfied. If you're not feeling full and satisfied off that, go ahead and add some vegetables and like eat a whole head of broccoli, eat a whole head of cauliflower. Like, do that and see if you're not satisfied. See if your body's not like, oh, bet, like they love me and like we're here to win. And you will respond differently. I don't eat food and then feel slumped afterwards. I eat food and I have fuel and I'm ready to go. And that's what's up. So that's a totally different mindset, a totally different experience. And I love it. I love it. I love it. My taste buds have grown up, and I'm more satisfied with just simple things, like simple things. So a day in my life looks like having a power shake in the morning, taking my aminos, taking my biomedic. I've added a few other things. You want to talk about skin? Like what? This is my face and this is not a filter. Um, so skin, nice, beautiful, like shiny, like not shiny in a bad way, but like healthy, like vibrant, bright skin, from my head to my toe, like not dry. Vaginal moisture, like on point. I know you guys didn't ask that for that, but like it is. Um, just understand that. So like people experience vaginal dryness. Part of that is your diet. Like that's your diet. Understanding like heavy cycles, hard menstrual cramps, your diet. And so what we try to avoid or ignore sometimes is the solution to many of the problems that we're talking about. Like I watch they go and scrape and they try to get all the pimples and all the acne off your face and all that stuff. And like that's an external thing, but the issue is internal. The issue is on the inside. So once you start to heal and address that, all of the stuff that happens on the outside starts to shift and improve. So anytime you're wondering, I've got eczema, or I've got this, I've got dry, blotchy skin, my lips are dry, I feel thirsty, I'm vaginally dry, I don't poop, I don't pee, like all of those things. What you eating, boo? Like, that's literally what it is. And I have this last thought. Okay, and I'm really gonna go now. This last thought was I remember in college going to Bath and Body Works and like loving the snot out of some Bath and Body Works, right? And like the goal of that is you want to smell good. And so everybody's like, yeah, I want to smell good. So I'm going to shower in it. And I remember thinking, I have the whole line. I had the shower gel, I had the lotion, then I had the body spray. And when they came out with the perfume, I added the perfume. Why? Because I wanted like all four contacts. Any type of thing that was in contact with my skin was going to be like amazing. And I was going to smell like strawberries. Well, guess what? You know the best way to smell like a strawberry is? Eat them. Eat strawberries. Eat strawberries. You will smell and taste like a strawberry. Eat fruit. You will not be funky. You will not be musty. You will not stink. And like mind blown. Mind blown. Anyways, so there's that. I'm gonna stop. Della says, woohoo! Awesome. And she also says, yes, the state of your health on the inside reflects on the outside. Absolutely. So thank you guys for tuning in. I know it was a little bit longer than I anticipated. Part of me was like, oh, I'll be on for 10 minutes. And then almost 50 minutes later. But it is what it is. Thanks for joining. If you have questions, feel free to like holler at me. I'm happy to answer questions or kind of help get you on this journey if that's what you're looking for, or make a smooth or slow transition, whatever that looks like. You deserve it. You deserve the best, and you deserve not to suffer with dis-ease in your body when you can prevent it and resources are right available right at your fingertips. Bye-bye.